Bom dia, welcome back. After 12 days of carnival madness, Carnaval just ended about an hour ago, and now begins the long and arduous cleanup. Tons and tons of trash need to be removed, and all of the food and drink stands need to be taken down, and all of the bleachers and other temporary infrastructure need to be disassembled and hauled away. Oh boy, I can only imagine the environmental impact of Carnaval. I don't even like to think about it, what it does to the flora and fauna, and especially the sea around Salvador. That'll need to be cleaned up too. I could actually walk on this Oceanside Avenue now without going through a security line. There's still a lot of people out, but they're all starting to do cleanup. The revelers are gone, just a few stragglers and a lot of cleanup crews. This carnival costs the city millions and millions of dollars to put on and to clean up. You know, to be completely honest with all of you, I am glad the Carnival is over and done with. Call me an old Scrooge, bah humbug, but I've been participating in Carnival in Salvador, Brazil for over 20 years now, and maybe it's my age, but I am over it. It's mostly exhausting. I had a few good moments, particularly yesterday when I paraded with the Filhos de Ganji, but mostly it is a lot of inconvenience. And I'm not the only person who feels that way. A lot of natives of Salvador also have expressed their dislike to Salvador, dislike of Carnival to me, which initially surprised me, but now I completely understand. So, in a few days from now, after the cleanup is over, it'll be back to normal. That is, if Salvador could ever be classified as normal. It's not normal, and that's one of the things I love about Salvador. There you have the TV crew dismantling their boom cameras, and an army of sanitation workers, all of those people dressed in orange, are out in the streets, hundreds of them, cleaning up the city. And there's still a few stragglers. Here comes a guy in a yellow tutu. I am not going to miss all this trash on the streets. I'm not going to miss it at all, but the city sweepers are out already, and hopefully they get every last piece before it gets blown into the ocean. Yuck, yuck, yuck. And while I and others complain about Carnival now, I just heard a woman who just passed me, and she said loudly, "Why does Carnival have to end? Carnival should last the whole month." And I've heard that sentiment too, especially young people who are dependent on Carnival to make a big chunk of their yearly income. The 12 or so days of Carnival just aren't enough. They want the whole month of February. That, to me, would be a nightmare, but I have to understand that sentiment too. This big camarote that I'm walking along is going to be dismantled later, today or tomorrow. As for me, I am just not into Carnival anymore, except for brief, very brief moments of enjoyment, like yesterday when I was in the Filhos de Ganji Bloco. But I have made a decision that next year I'm going to go to a small, isolated beach town far away from Carnaval. I used to have the idea that in Brazil, every town and even a small village celebrated Carnaval, but that is not true. For example, the small city that I lived in, Santo Antônio de Jesus, population of about 100,000 people, had no Carnaval because, you know, it's 3 hours away from Salvador, one of the biggest Carnival celebrations in all of Brazil. So, no reason for the city of Santo Antonio to spend huge sums of money on Carnaval when everybody can easily travel the 3 hours into Salvador for Carnaval. Everybody, well, everywhere in Brazil, Carnaval is celebrated, but not necessarily in the town or city that a person lives in. Often for those towns and small cities that don't celebrate Carnaval or don't have Carnaval, they will have a big celebration for the second biggest and most popular national holiday, which is São João. And São João happens in June. And so that little city of Santo Antonio of 100,000 people did not spend money on Carnaval, but they did spend huge sums of money on São João in June, and it was a major event in the city with major recording artists that they pay big money to bring in and decorate the entire city. So generally it's either Carnaval or São João, or sometimes their festival day is their local Catholic saint. This huge camarote that we're walking alongside of will all be taken down in the next day or two. This is not a normal structure here. It'll all be dismantled. Aha, and there is the beautiful South Atlantic Ocean. Always a sight for sore eyes. A beautiful sight, and in spite of all of the post-carnival trash that is littering the streets of Salvador for the next day or 2 or 3 days until it gets all cleaned up, still have this beautiful sight. You know, what I don't like is the idea of all of this trash being picked up by the wind and being blown into the ocean. But what can I do? I have a habit of picking up trash on my walks, but I can only make the tiniest of dents. It's worrisome and is a bit disheartening, but hopefully the vast majority of it will be collected. I think single-use plastic water bottles are a crime against nature. Yes, life is really getting back to normal. Look at that beautiful sunset here at Porto de Barra Beach. The beach is crowded, but it's getting back to normal. Folks, Carnival is over. Salvador is heaven again. The nightmare is over. So, I'm home now. The city of Salvador is getting back to normal. I cannot hear any sounds coming from the street. The trash is being picked up, and all is well here in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. I'm happy to be here. Glad the Carnival is over. Hope you all come and visit and experience beautiful Salvador. As always, beijo, ciao.